All right. Okay. Professional interviewer right here. So, okay, so you guys have racked up 200,000 some odd hits. Is that correct?
We did. We cracked 200,000 on Coldcast TV about 2 weeks ago, and then we're up to. I think we're up to around 220,000 on Coldcast when I checked today.
And that's over the span of like your 10 months that you've been doing this, or?
Yeah, we signed up with Coldcast at around episode 4. So I then gave them episodes 1 through 3, and then I started giving them new episodes after that. But I think our total series number, everything combined, like YouTube, Coldcast, iTunes, I think we're at 1.5 million so far.
Wow. Now, did you expect that when you were starting this?
Well, we hoped. we hoped. But again, still, that for a web series, that's still small potatoes compared to some of the stuff out there, like the Guild or Legend of Neil, or Reese the series. Yeah, like they get pretty big numbers. So we're still small fish.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, you can't deny that literally starting from the ground up with less than really nothing except I guess I can't even imagine, like, I suppose, where do you guys work out of? Is this like a public access kind of place or do you have your own studio or what?
Normally we rent like a hall, and we have 3 green screens, portable ones, and we just sort of set those up, and then we just do everything within that little green cube sort of thing. Oh, and the floors are usually we'll throw down like a green tarp.
Sure.
And yeah, so it's very low budget, and but it's been about a year, and it's going well now. We're starting to get some steam finally. So.
Yeah. So as far as like, because when I started our blog with Nick and Greg, I was reading all this stuff about branding, about actually like developing your own style, and you guys have done that right out of the gate. You guys had a very distinct look. Personally, I would love to have been at that drunken brainstorm session where you guys came up with this. but as far as almost, say, I guess not really a business model, but if it were to be that, how do you guys target your audience? I guess that's that makes no sense.
No, that's a good question. Well, we're sort of gamers. We play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure like every game played, at one point someone goes, "Hey, this would be a cool movie," or "This would be a cool show." It's like you guys have it'll be like an incredible game. You're like, "Oh my god, that was awesome!" Mm-hmm. And we were already doing video productions, short films. We've been playing with doing our own stuff for about 10 years, just slowly building up our equipment and learning. And finally we said, let's do a sort of Dungeons and Dragon-y type show. And the theory was we would use all our best games. So we started to record the audio of all our games, and started to play around with ideas of what might be a cool show. And that's where it started. And you're right, it was like a drunken like Dungeons and Dragons game where it came from, where it was born.
That's awesome. One of the things I really enjoy about it, and I'm hoping others too, but I get a sort of Star Wars sense to some of these scenes. Like there's a very sort of Harryhausen sort of scene with the tavern, and that's almost like the cross between Star Wars Cantina with all the puppets in the background, and sort of like Fraggle Rock on acid is how I refer to that particular chunk, which I just thought, like, wow, there had been a lot of work going into that.
Well, that's bang on. That's bang on. That's we're huge Star Wars geeks, and we grew up on the Muppets, so a lot of it is just combining things we love and making something unique. Because obviously Darunia's magic sword almost looks like a lightsaber for a reason. We're like,
sure.
Okay, we'll put a hot elf with a lightsaber. Would we watch that? Yes. Okay, It's going in.
Yeah, like you guys could have like used it to cut cheese with, and I would have watched that.
Yeah. So,
also,
but it's
go ahead.
Well, with the puppet thing, that's been sort of fun, and we're gonna actually really work that into the show more because we love that old school flavor.
Yeah.
Type thing. And it's funny you said Fraggle Rock because the guy who did the puppets in the tavern scene, I tried to get him to work on our show, and he was really busy. And I go, well, okay, I'll work on whatever you're working on, and then you come and work on my thing. He's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. And he actually was on an episode of the Muppet Show, one of the 90s version, and did the chef. So Orshky Borsky,
oh, sure.
So yeah, he guest starred as a puppeteer on it.
Wow.
And then I also met a guy actually who did puppets on Fraggle Rock on that shoot. So that was really cool.
That is
cool.
So it's amazing what kind of people you can just meet. Like I haven't met any personally, but haven't met any people yet. But I live vicariously through people like you. So did you guys go?
Well,
have you guys been going to conventions or anything like that? Do you guys get invites now, or since you're sort of a semi big deal, I guess?
No. We were thinking about going to conventions. That's the thing. We're in a little tiny town, in Ontario, Canada. So there's not much of a film scene or anyone doing film whatsoever. And the closest place to go to is Toronto, which is about 4 hours away. They have a lot of conventions there. We're about an hour away from the capital of Canada, Ottawa.
Sure. Yeah.
Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's not much of a film scene going on, but we would love to go to conventions since we're so far away. But someday, hopefully, if we can keep going.
This is it. This is your platform. So the 15 people watching me right now can say, hey, we'll invite them to. I'm seriously. I know the people down here in Nebraska. If you guys want to make the trip, we will invite you to the conventions down here because there's a lot of fans down here in the Cornhusker state. That's for sure. When we come from a really small town too. It's not really a small town, but I mean it's like 200,000 people. I guess that depends on your definition of small, but it's in the middle of nowhere.
How much was it? 200,000?
Yeah, it's 200,000. It's the capital of the state, but it's one of those things where if you're not on the coast, you're not considered a gamer, and so that's depends on who you ask.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was regions for gamers.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, all the really big conventions are all California, New York, Chicago. Oh, yeah. We have maybe one or two small conventions or something like that, but no Comic Con type, craziness. No Origins, no Gen Con. None of that's going to come here. Everybody goes kind of, which I'm trying to think of some way to make Lincoln or Omaha, like the center of the country. Why not? Come to the middle.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
It would. I think it would be a blast actually to tour conventions with the show. That would be.
That would be cool. I mean, that's what the people at the Guild are doing. Why not you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, they have got pretty big numbers though. They can. I'd be always scared that we would show up and it'd be tumbleweeds and